Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. Welcome to CryptoTrader's Room. This is your host, CryptoTrader. And in CryptoTrader's Room, this is a place where we eat, drink, sleep, dream, trade, and invest in digital currencies. And if you're a first-time viewer, welcome, and don't forget to click on that subscribe button, as well as the post notification so that you're notified every time a video is uploaded, or I schedule a spur-of-the-moment type of live stream, and that does happen occasionally from time to time. Gloria, greetings from Philadelphia, my old stomping ground. I will actually be in Philadelphia in a couple weeks. My parents still live there, so I tend to visit from time to time. Daniel, welcome. How are you, sir? But yeah, let's take a look at the market a little bit. We got 15 people joining. I'm not sure who's on the stream yet. TJ, welcome, buddy. Time to buy. Yeah, this might be a great buying opportunity. You know, everything's in the red. Everything except for MLN, whatever MLN is. That seems to be trading on the Ethereum pair, but it's up 1.36%. On Crypto Watch, especially, that seems the only thing that's kind of up today. But yeah, I mean, it is really providing some great buying opportunities. And, you know, I did inform our members in our Slack chat what I was looking at the other day. And I was really looking at Ethereum. I'm sorry, I was looking at Litecoin. And I really had my eyes on that $40 price point. And of course, I had a buy-in for a $40 price point on Bitfinex. So it executed at $40. And of course, the price is higher on Coinbase. So I transferred it over. It took about 45 minutes to transfer over. So I'm down about $1, you know, per coin. So I bought 102. So I'm down at $102 currently right now. But you know, Coinbase is being a little slow, and I'm sure a lot of you guys had issues yesterday, from what I've heard. You know, considering it dropped to about 250, exactly 250 is what it dropped to. And that was my buy-in price the other day before the flash crash. Executed at 250, got to 224, and then a cascade of margin calls or stop losses, and then a cascade of margin calls caused it to completely dip. And you know, of course, I was executed at 250 and then liquidated at 93, basically, or $92 in a matter of seconds. But you know, it's great news that Coinbase is making it right. Now, I don't know if they found something in their investigation that, you know, they didn't want to leak out, or you know, something, you know, or they didn't really want regulators really digging deep into what is really going on Coinbase. But they did decide to make it right, which I'm kind of glad, you know, especially for the ones that, you know, had stop losses in the book, and it completely got liquidated on pennies on the dollar when they told the system to sell it at 300 or 250 or, you know, 316, whatever it might have been. So I'm pretty excited for those people that are getting their money back. You know, I'm glad I'm getting my money back as well too. But if I wasn't getting it back, you know, it wouldn't be the end of the world. You know, considering, you know, I utilized margin. It was my fault. You know, I didn't really weigh the risk out. So, you know, it's a good thing, though. It is definitely a good thing what they're doing. Let's see who else we got on this chat. Kofi, welcome. What a weekend. Yeah, I wasn't too much in front of a computer this weekend. I had a lot of things I needed to do, but I was kind of keeping an eye on things on my phone. And yeah, everything is dipping. You know, it's not a flash crash, but could this lead to a panic selling that would cause some sort of crash? It's a possibility. Skylar, welcome. Scotty, Mommy Trader, welcome. Mozark, welcome. Abdullah, great to see you, bud. Yeah, you're right, TJ. I mean, they don't need the bad news. They don't need the bad publicity, and they don't need regulators digging in, you know, into Coinbase. And basically, you know, I mean, you know, with that flash crash happening, that would kind of give them a reason to kind of go in and start really, you know, keeping an eye out on Coinbase. And I don't think Coinbase wants that. I don't think they want regulators breathing down their neck about what possibly happened. And maybe they didn't want them finding something in the internal system that should not have happened. That's kind of my speculation behind it. But I'm kind of glad that they are making it right for a lot of traders that got hammered and literally got hammered. Roll, welcome. Enrico, welcome, sir. Crypto never sleeps. Yes, you're indeed right about that name, man. Crypto never sleeps, 24/7. No holidays at all. So let me know if you guys were able to take advantage of that 250 dip, and especially, you know, with Litecoin coming down to 37.77. One thing that was really impressive, and let me see if I have the chart up, was Ethereum Classic. I mean, it was really impressive of what it did, considering everything else was dipping, and really it was between Ethereum Classic and Litecoin that I wanted to position in, and I did have an open position that I canceled, as you guys can see right here from the order book. I canceled 232 Ethereum Classics that I had in the book for 1761. Now got to 1710 before really making that run back up to 21 and change. Let's see. Yeah, this is when it would have executed if I hadn't canceled it and put it into Litecoin. And that would have been a great play from 1710 all the way to 2112, 2113. So, I mean, that's a pretty significant gain. You know, $4 we're talking about within a matter of just a couple hours. But of course, you know, hopefully nobody bought at the high there because who knew? You know, I mean, that's just way too fast, way too quick for it to go up and, of course, to pull right back down. But it's still doing pretty well in comparison to the other cryptocurrencies. It is still holding up pretty well. And that 1750 seems to be a very good support for it. George, greetings from London. Yes, man, welcome, buddy. Not a problem. I mean, you know, I love doing these live streams. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays is normally when I do them. Let's see what the big question is. Is this a quick dump and great opportunity to buy? It's a good question. Maybe it's just an accumulation because of holidays and we're going to the month of July. I mean, there's so many different possibilities. You know, there could have been, you know, people saying, you know what, I didn't lock in those profits, you know, at the high and this flash crash happened. I mean, if another flash crash happens, I mean, who's to say that they're going to reimburse everybody's money again? I mean, we got bailed out once. You know, we can't get bailed out again, to be honest with you. I don't think that's going to happen at all. So a lot of people are probably nervous, you know, and panic is setting in. And they're like, you know what, let me just get out of this market and sit on USD because I'm a little nervous of what possibly might happen. And I mean, and I don't blame them at all. You know, and especially with July, with the holidays, people going on vacation, you know, they don't want to be tied into some of these cryptocurrencies, not knowing exactly what's going to happen, considering we've had this flash crash. So, yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. And if I was going on vacation, you know, for a week, I'd probably be in all USD, to be honest with you. I would not be in any cryptocurrencies. But yeah, who knows? You know, I mean, there's so many different possibilities. You know, user activated soft fork, user activated hard fork. I mean, there's just so many different things that are affecting this price right now. You know, are people pulling money out of ICOs and selling them? It's a possibility. But yeah, we're going to be analyzing Litecoin today because considering that's really the only position that I do have. And I still do have a little bit of funds left over from what Coinbase kind of left me with, the 3.63 Ethereums. And then I sold those 3.63 Ethereums at 328. I just got out because I needed the capital. And I'm kind of glad I got out because now we know that it actually dipped to 250. But, you know, if Coinbase had actually given me back my money today, you know, I would have definitely gotten into Ethereum Classic at that 250 range, at least bought a little bit. Not on margin, though. I don't even think you can buy on margin anymore, to be honest with you guys. Yeah, I think margin is possibly indefinitely done on Coinbase until they actually kind of fixed a glitch, because really it shouldn't have caused a cascade like that on the margin call. They should have put out a margin call and not just instantly liquidate. And that's usually the way it works. I mean, I've had margin calls on the stock market, you know, when I was heavily leveraged, and they give you time to put the money back in. And if you don't put the money back in by, I think it's 5 days, then they liquidate the account, what they need to cover, or they at least give you the opportunity to sell. And that's what they do. But, you know, Coinbase, of course, didn't do that at all. It didn't margin. I mean, they margin called everybody, but they didn't put out the notice saying, hey, you're a margin call. This is what you need to satisfy the margin call. Either deposit the money into that account or start selling some of your positions. Or after 5 days, we are going to start selling some of your positions. It's really what they should have started doing. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I do have a buy. I had a couple lowball buy-in offers last night, and I mean, we were talking about like 1 cent, 2 cents, 3 cents, and the most that you could actually buy is 5,000 on limit. So I had probably 10 $5,000, 5,000 Ethereum limit orders in the book just in case. You never know. I mean, you know, if it happens once, it could happen again. So I put in, you know, 5,000 for 1 cent, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 10 cents. I was putting them in just for the hell of it. Yeah, panic sellers going to fiat. Exactly. I mean, that's, you know, that's part of it. I would say that's part of it. You know, other part could be, you know, moving into a different cryptocurrency that they're hopefully looking to pump. And actually, and I'm hoping that nobody that's in our Slack chat got caught on the pump and dump that was happening on Bittrex. I did get a notification that there was a group out there on Saturday that they were going to be at 11 a.m. Eastern time zone. I'm assuming that they were going to start pumping and dumping. And prior to that, they had actually pumped and dumped on Poloniex. So I kind of notified the group that's saying, hey, be careful. There's going to be some pump and dumps that are going to be happening on Bittrex on Saturday. And they did. I mean, they pumped, what was it, EBST. Now, of course, EBST is now 50%. I mean, they pumped EBST from 10 cents down up to $2.30. I mean, there's a huge pump. And I was sitting here, kind of watching it. I was like, man, this is crazy. How could they pump this so much? And it wasn't the only coin that they pumped, but this one they pumped, I think it was like 1,200% from basically 10 cents, or let's see how many Satoshis. Low of 4,164 Satoshis up to a high of 86,082 Satoshis. So yeah, I mean, going basically from 10 cents to $2 and something. So I'm hoping nobody got caught in this pump and dump. But I mean, it wasn't the only thing that they pumped and dumped that day. There were a couple other ones. Let's see if I can remember what they were. Core, K-O-R-E, was definitely a pump and dump. NMR was a pump and dump that day. I think those are the only three that I remember that they pumped and dumped. But yeah, I mean, this could happen anytime, and that's why I don't play these cryptocurrencies that are not popular. For a long-term investment, if they flatline, yes, get into it, but be ready for the pump when it happens and be ready to get out. I mean, if anybody had bought EBST, let's just say a couple of days before the pump had actually happened, and they didn't keep an eye on it. So let's just say they bought it in this level here. They didn't keep an eye on this, and it pumps up, from 10 cents to $2.30, and they didn't get out. They're right back to where they were. So, if you do get into some of these crap coins, and you got in because it happens to be flatlining, yeah, either put in a somewhat of a modest sell offer, or just keep an eye on it. And when it pumps, get out, because we can see that it comes right back down. What goes up so high so fast comes right back down. And they did that to a couple coins, so hopefully nobody got caught in that. Yeah, I think we did break all the significant supports. Fly the elephant, I completely agree. Especially, we're going to analyze this a little better, so let me get out of here. And let me know if you guys think this blue chart is a little too much for you guys to see. And if it is, I'll go ahead and switch back to the black chart. But I thought I would try something different. If it's easy on the eyes, easy for you guys to kind of take a look at. And if it's not, definitely let me know, and I'll definitely switch that back up. But yeah, I'm probably going to have to zoom out of here to maybe an hour chart to see exactly where the supports are. And these lines were something I drew out, I don't even know when, a couple live streams ago. So they've been on there for weeks and weeks possibly. So really the other area of support, and it seems that, yeah, it broke through a couple areas of support. And it, when it broke through, yeah, it might have come up just a little bit here, but then it came right back down with, selling intensifying. But that other area is really the 37, let's just say 37.20s, 37.15-ish. And if it breaks that, man, we could see $33. And ECS, I don't know if you're on here, but you did notify me of that possible $33. Yeah, it could possibly come down to that $33 if sell intensifies and it starts breaking that support level there. But there is going to be another support level. It's not going to be the 33 right away, but probably right around here, a little under $35, 34 and change. So let's go ahead and put a line out there. And then if it does break that, then yeah, that 33 is definitely in sight. So this is about $34. I know it's a little under $34. But after that, it's, yeah, we're looking at possibly 32.10, somewhere in that range. But yeah, this isn't the time for me to say, all right, you know what, I'm going all in, because I have no clue what this is going to do at all. Considering it's broken some key levels as it is already, it could continue to keep breaking key levels until the panic selling, or really the selling kind of diminishes and people don't have anything to sell, and then the buyers kind of outweigh the sellers. That's the only way that this is going to kind of start making a move up to the upside. And I did get in at 40 thinking, what, hey, 40 is a very good support, and it was a good support. It's had a couple levels where it completely hit that $40 level and came right back up. Let's see if we can zoom out of here to maybe a 4-hour chart. Yeah, this is definitely about, presenting some opportunities to buy, and it might not be currently right now at the moment, but it is, especially to take just a small position to see exactly what would happen, to see, if it would turn around from that position, but not to go all in at all. No way. Yeah, I'm still down a little bit, and if it does get right back up, and I'm looking to sell at 43.50, and that 43.50, let's see where that is. So it'll be right about here is where I'm looking to kind of get rid of what I have, the 103 or 102 that I have. That'd be about a $350 profit. I'll be happy with that. And if it dips down back again, yes, it would present another buying opportunity. But at this level here, it's a little leery. Plus, I don't really have much capital to add to it. But if it does dip to, let's say, that $33, then yes, I will be taking the a little less than 1,200 bucks that I have left over and adding to the Litecoin position. Bear market in your opinion? Yeah, dude. I think, momentarily for a little bit, yes, we could be in a bear market. Considering it is breaking some key levels. And if it continues to break key levels, then, especially if it continues to break below this trend line, then yeah, I mean, it's going to be in the bear territory. It is somewhat in the bear territory currently at the moment. Yeah, I got to get out of this 4-hour chart. Makes drawing a little tough. Let's see. Never trade crypto margin. Yes, indeed. And the crazy thing is, I've said that many times on the live stream. I told everybody not to use margin. Everybody. And you can probably go back and watch some of the videos. People are asking me about margin. And the day that it happened, before I went to the bank, Sherry asked me if she should trade on margin. I said, no, definitely don't trade on margin. Definitely not. And I definitely want to give a special shout out to Nick Sivart, Sivart. He was the one that actually notified me about the pump and dump that was going to be happening on Bittrex. So if Nick Sivart, if you're on this, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And I hope you got my message to join our Slack general chat. Yeah, get those low ball offers in. You never know. You never know. I doubt it's going to get to 10 cents again, but, maybe at $1. I think that's what I'm going to start doing before going to bed. Minimum $1. BTC 14 to 2100. I think that 2100 is definitely in sight. Definitely in sight. But let's take a look at BTC. Yeah, she's got to get back up to these trend lines. Definitely got to get back up. I think, of course, Crypto Watch is acting up a little bit. All right, they don't want me to draw out any lines for some apparent reason. All right, so that won't be happening, unfortunately. Let's see. Nope, that's not want me to go down from the 2050 all the way up. That is weird. Okay. But it really hasn't started breaking some key levels yet, and I do have key levels kind of drawn out from a while back. And of course, we know what that massive dip yet we have. But yeah, in order for this to be really in a great correction territory, yeah, she's got to really start breaking some of these levels here. And that main level really for it to break to make sure that we are in a correction is really 2200. If she breaks through 2200, yeah, I mean, that 2100 is definitely in sight, possibly 2000, and unless there's a lot of buying that intensifies to kind of give it support, and people are not scared of what's going to be happening, in August 1st, then yeah, I mean, if people are terrified of August 1st, and they're not able to get that hardware wallet to be able to secure it, what are they going to do? They're going to sell. Like, they're going to make sure that they're out of Bitcoin and that they're just sitting on fiat. And if that does happen, yeah, that 1500, it could easily crash to that. I mean, we've seen Bitcoin, drop $800-900 and then make it right back up. That's definitely when you want to have those buy-ins, those buys in the book. But yeah, I would be leery of any of these cryptocurrencies right now. I don't think it's a great time to kind of take a huge position, a little bit to kind of get your feet wet to see what happened, but nothing large, to be honest with you guys, nothing at all. Let me see if I can get to some of these comments. I know there's a good amount of them. EOS, I'll get to that, Tracy. I'm kind of scrolling up now, but yeah, yes, EOS is going to be offered on Bitfinex. I don't think it's going to be offered on any other exchanges, and that's on July 1st. 1760 on Kraken for ETC. What was it on? What was it on Bitfinex? $18 on Bitfinex. Yeah, and I wish I had capital. I don't have anything left over. Yeah, the 16 cents is kind of misleading. I don't have 16 cents. I actually have 0.0079 cents is what I have on Bitfinex. So really, I couldn't even take advantage of a nice drop if ETC was to drop. But ETC really seems to be the one that's kind of solid. Yes, it's down 11%. But she did go up to almost $21, a little over $21 from 1710, when everything else was really just downtrending. This was really the only thing that was kind of going up on the up. And of course, profit taken happened to kind of bring it right back down to that 1750 level. But ETC is really the one I would possibly be interested in if I had funds left over. Yeah, the dip really hasn't affected ETC as much. And if the dip that Ethereum and Litecoin and Bitcoin, if those dips were affecting ETC would be below 1400 right now, but it's definitely not. But yeah, I wish I had funds left over. I mean, that 1750 is not a bad idea to kind of take a very small position on. But yeah, I don't have anything on there. Everything is kind of stuck on Coinbase. And that's just for me to kind of give them a little bit of support, for the nice gesture that they're doing to people that were affected by that flash crash. So I will not be talking crap on Coinbase. And I really haven't talked crap on Coinbase at all. I mean, even when I saw that I was completely liquidated, I took the blame for it. Thoughts on Ethereum, but yeah, let me get to some of these other comments, and then I'll let you know my thoughts on Ethereum. Yeah, Abdullah, this could be a temporary bear market, or it could be an extended bear market. I mean, we really won't know until, kind of the day plays out and see exactly how the new candle will open up. But let's even just take a look at, I'll take a look at ETC because somebody asked me my thoughts on it. But let's take a look at the daily candles on ETC or on Ethereum. Except for this massive crash, which makes charting a little difficult. But yeah, this is a complete downtrend, and I mean these candles, I mean they're opening. I mean yes, they do make it up, below the previous candle's closing price, but their opening is right at the prior candle's closing price. So yeah, this does not look good for the past. I mean let's not even include this flash crash. The past 4.5 days, it has not looked good at all. Ever since that flash crash, I mean everything is completely downtrending. Maybe I gotta look at this on a 12-hour candlestick. But yeah, just a complete downtrend. So we'll see exactly. I mean, this is the current day's candlestick. So at 8 p.m., it will switch over to a new candlestick, and we'll have to see exactly how this candlestick finishes and then how the new one forms to kind of give us an idea. Okay, you know what? Could this be the turnaround, or is it just a little fake out for more downtrends to happen? But yeah, before I go to bed, I mean, I'll definitely be putting in some lowball offers. You know, maybe to buy, I don't know, two at $100, and then the rest, you know, pennies on the dollar, basically. Yeah, I mean, it's just not Ethereum that's going down. I mean, everything's going down. Fly by the elephant. I mean, everything is downtrending right now, especially, you know, the top cryptocurrencies. I haven't looked at really Bitfinex to see exactly what's moving up, but some of them could just be, you know, part of the pump and dump. Yeah, and I think, you know, the biggest thing about Ethereum is this ICO bubble that's happening. I mean, there's just so many other coins that are being built on their platform that, you know, it's too much. I think it's too much. You know, I was actually looking at to see, you know, how many things were being built on what platform, and you know, Ethereum Classic only has one thing that's being built on it currently right now, and that was, I think, iPay or something to that extent. So, you know, the nice thing about Ethereum Classic is, you know, the more applications that are being built on that, the more coins that are coming out based on Ethereum Classic, you know, I think the better that Ethereum Classic is going to do. But yeah, right now, I think, you know, Ethereum Classic is in a bubble based on all these other coins that are coming out and people needing Ethereum to be able to take advantage of these ICOs. So there's a lot of buying that's going on and not enough selling because people are not buying Ethereum to sell it for a profit. They're buying Ethereum to be able to take advantage of these ICOs that are happening. And let's just say, you know, hypothetically, that they're not able to get into those ICOs and they have the Ethereums. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to probably move them back to the exchange and sell them. So that could be the cause of this dip that we're seeing. But yeah, I mean, this could be an extended dip. It really could. I don't think it's another flash crash. I don't think that's happened yet. It will happen in the future. It's just a matter of time. But this could be just an extended correction that we're going to see. How far will it correct? I mean, who knows? I mean, if she touches below 200, yeah, then we should be a little fearful, you know, of what's happening within the market. And for me, that might not be the time to be greedy, even though Warren Buffett said, you know, be greedy when others are fearful. You know, I think she could have a bigger drop. Only the strong will survive. Yeah, man. And I think, you know, the flash crash has kind of taught us that, you know, especially if GDAX wasn't or Coinbase wasn't, you know, giving the traders back their money. Yeah, it's survival of the fittest, and the strong will only survive. And I'm not saying that, you know, the people that got liquidated, you know, including myself, are weak. That's not what I'm saying. It just means that, you know, the market could completely take you out. It could completely take you out, and it's taken out a bunch of people. I mean, it left me with a little bit, you know, to be able to still stay in the game somewhat, but it could completely take you out, completely wipe out your capital. My crypto journey, yeah, I mean, you know, that's what they're saying, and I'm sure they're going to stick with their word. But you know, speaking of that too, so let's just kind of go back to what Coinbase is actually doing. Yes, they are, you know, refunding us back, you know, the money that we lost. But they didn't say how they're going to refund us back the money that we lost. Are they going to refund us back in Ethereum, or are they going to refund us back in USD? If they do refund us back in USD, I don't think, you know, they want to buy, or unless they have tons of reserve on hand that they probably purchase, you know, at whatever price point. You know, maybe they purchase at 3,900 at 10 cents. Who knows? But I mean, let's just say hypothetically they decide to return it in Ethereum and they don't have enough Ethereums. They don't want to buy Ethereums at a very high price to return it back to us. You know, they want it to correct. So could this correction be caused by Coinbase? You know, because they want to buy in cheaper to return everybody's Ethereums back to them, because they don't want to purchase it at over $300. They'd rather purchase it in the 250s, possibly 200, so that they're not spending too much USD to buy the Ethereum to return back to the traders that lost it. So could this be a cause of Ethereum really kind of of Coinbase kind of walking Ethereum down to a price point that they feel comfortable buying at? It's a possibility. And thank you to all the watchers. We got 73 people watching on this. This is awesome. And if you haven't clicked on that subscribe button yet, please do so. Also stay connected with us on Steemit, Twitter, Facebook. This should actually be live streaming on Twitter, right? I'm sorry, this should be live streaming on Steemit right now. So let me check out Steemit to make sure it is live streaming. So there should be a simultaneous live stream going on. Yes, this is live streaming on Steemit. So if you're on Steemit, thank you so much for watching this. I appreciate the upvote. I know it's got a couple upvotes right now and a comment, so I'll definitely get to that comment. But thank you if you are on Steemit and you're actually watching this live currently right at this moment. But yeah, feel free to sign up for our mailing list as well too, and that's CryptoTradersRoom.com, which we will be sending out. I don't know if we're going to do it today, but you know, when you sign up for our mailing list and answer those questions truthfully, so that's something I highly recommend. Answer them truthfully, and you know, if you need to get into a little more detail, get into a little more detail, and based on the questions, yeah, you know, that we'll read, we'll go ahead and send out a couple of invites. But thank you for everybody that's clicking this like button, especially if you find this information helpful. And I'll try to get to some of the questions. And if you guys have some of the cryptocurrencies that you want me to take a look at, I'll gladly take a look at some of those as well too. But yeah, if you guys got in the 250 range, let me know as well too, because I mean that's not a bad price, as long as that is the bottom, and this is the turnaround that we're going to see. But yeah, if anybody bought at a very high price over 300. Yeah, this might not be the level for you to sell at, to be honest with you. You know, if you do want to get out of this position, you know, wait for a nice little correction to the upside so that you're at least minimizing the loss a little bit. That's what I would be doing. I would not be selling at these levels here, because then you might be selling at the bare bottom base price from where it could actually start turning around. But Litecoin is really what I'm interested in today. To at least get out, because I do have a position in it. When do I get my money back, or when do traders get their money back? I don't know. They said, you know, sometime next week, which is basically this week, considering they came out with that, you know, with the update on Saturday. So hopefully, you know, we'll find out by this week how they're going to handle the refund. The blue's cool. Nice. That's good to know. Yeah, and if it's not, let me know. Like I said, I mean, I could always switch it back to the black. I didn't know. I just thought I would try something different today. Black. All right. So we'll see how many votes we get, whether for the blue or for the black. So far, we got one blue, one black. Yeah, you know what? Fly by the elephant. You know, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm just glad that people that put in stop loss are getting their money back. That's what I'm really happy about. And that's really, you know, the people that my heart was bleeding for, were the people that said, you know what? I want this to sell at 315 or 300. And it sold for 10 cents. You know, those are the people I felt really bad for. Honestly, I didn't feel bad for myself at all. You know, considering, yes, I lost $17,000, $14,000 of it was pure profit that I took within the past 3 months. So really, I lost $3,000 of my, you know, capital that I started out with. So really, I didn't feel bad for myself at all, considering I knew what I was getting into. But for the fact that, you know, it basically executed 250 and then liquidated instantly with a matter of a fraction of a second, yeah, it sucked, you know, and that's the only thing that sucked about it. Now, if I was careless and I bought a 250 and it slowly but surely started grinding down to the pennies, yes, that's completely my fault. But, you know, their system really didn't handle, you know, margin calls properly, because they really should have sent out a margin call notice and give the trader enough time to put in, and, you know, put the capital back in, put money back into it, or sell some of their positions. But considering their system went down and nobody was able to do anything, you couldn't even get out of your position. You know, their system just completely, you know, started executing orders left and right, which caused it to completely dip to 10 cents. So yeah, I felt bad for the people that were, you know, that had the stop loss in. I didn't feel bad for the people that had margin calls, because we knew what we were getting into. But for it to drop, you know, to 10 cents was a little unrealistic, unheard of. But if it can happen, you know, which we know it can happen again. And it's a matter of fact, before it happens again on a different exchange, you know, maybe, you know, Coinbase, you know, we'll put in the measures in place to prevent this from happening again. But there's a possibility other exchanges will not put those measures in place. So there's a possibility that on other exchanges, this could happen if it hasn't happened yet. I think I read somewhere that it has happened on Kraken. And Kraken really hasn't done what's right for the customer. They just basically threw their middle finger at him and said, hey, you know, it's your loss, our gain. We're not going to reimburse you anything. And that could easily happen. So if it hasn't happened on one exchange yet, that's the exchange I would probably go on and start putting in those 10 cents, you know, offers in the book. Because if it hasn't happened there, there's a possibility it can happen. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. But yeah, it is crazy. And it is nice that Coinbase is doing what's right now, you know. I don't know if it's because they didn't want something to be found out, if they were trying to hide something, and the only way for them to hide something is by basically giving everybody back their money. That's a possibility, but You know, I'm kind of glad the people that had the stop losses put in the book and that got wiped out are getting their money back. This is the best time to buy. I don't know, man. It is a good time to put in a little bit, I would say. I wouldn't say it's the best time to kind of go all in. Definitely not. You know, because we don't really know what direction this market's going to take. And let's go ahead and draw out a couple of lines to see exactly what it's done on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, I would say ever since the 22nd, you know, it's been downtrending. So it is a good opportunity to kind of get your feet wet and just get a little bit in the book. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on the 5th day right now. So 5 days, 4.5 days almost worth of downtrending. You know, could this be gearing up for a bigger push to the downside? Definitely a possibility. Yeah, I mean, it's even way, way below the trend line that I would draw out, way below it. You know, unless you can kind of make a nice little move to the upside of here and kind of get wedged in between the uptrend line and the downtrend line, get wedged in here, and then kind of have a nice pop to the upside as long as, you know, there's enough buying to support it. You know, if selling is intensifying because people are getting very impatient and panic kind of sets in, then yeah, you know, it'll drive it further, completely further. But we'll see, you know, towards the end of the day, it looks like possibly at midnight, a little after midnight, to see if it gets in this wedge right here. And if it does, you know, and if that, you know, if the range gets tighter and tighter and tighter, you know, if the range doesn't break out above this downward trend and then come right back down, then, you know, there's a possibility where, you know, that trend will get tighter and tighter and tighter and then get a nice little push up to the upside. And I'm hoping if it does do that and gets pushed up to the upside, that, you know, 43.50 that I'm looking at will be in sight. And I might have to change that. You know, I might have to change that to possibly $42 to try to get out, you know, at this high here, because this could be a resistance. This high here before it dipped down further again, before it started making really lower lows. And that's currently what it's doing. It's just it's making lower lows from that high of 47.89. So we'll see exactly how this trend line, the upward trend and downward trend, kind of plays out as the day goes on. You just closed out your $100 low ball on Ethereum, I'm assuming, right? Yeah, it doesn't hurt before you go to bed to put that in there. I think I had, let me see. Do I have an offer in there? Maybe I thought I did. 115, I think. Yeah, 115 for 10.355 Ethereums. And that was about 2 hours ago that I put that in there. It's going down until it's done. Isn't that what they all do? They go down until they're done. I mean, they all go down until really selling diminishes, until, you know, there aren't tons of people that are selling, and whatever they sold, they're done selling. Until that happens, you know, we'll still be grinding. Anyone in Ripple? That's a good question. I looked at Ripple earlier, and I was like, ah, man, let's see if this thing gets, you know, breaks below 20 cents. But I don't think it will. IOTA, and actually, you know, it was a little weird because, and I need to do a little research on IOTA. But my son was asking me, you know, because I was looking at Bitfinex. He's like, "What are these on here?" He was like, "They all got like, you know, little symbols." So I was going through, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, you know, Dash, and I told him, you know, this is IOTA, and he's like, "IOTA?" He's like, "That's from my show," and I was like, "What show is that from?" He's like, "It's from Mars Tomorrowland." So if you guys have kids and they watch Mars, no, Miles. I think that's what it's called, Miles from Tomorrowland. He said IOTA was one of the things that they actually used, a little gadget, and it was called IOTA. And I was like, really? I was like, I'll have to do a little research and see exactly what they were referring to as IOTA. Or maybe, you know, whoever created IOTA was a fan of Miles from Tomorrowland, and that's why they named it IOTA. But yeah, Ripple, let's see, 24, a little under 24.3. It didn't break below 24, that's for sure. 24.3 is kind of what it broke. I would be curious to see if it's going to break right, where was it? Before it had a nice move up. I think it was like 22. 23. No, I'm sorry. 0.203 was the low that it had actually set before making a move up to 32 cents. And this wouldn't be a bad play, to be honest with you. Not at this current level, but if it gets down to 20 cents, it's an easy 50% profit because she has the ability to get up to 30 cents, possibly 32 cents. So, I mean, if you can pick this up at 20 cents and then kind of wait it out for it to hit 30, I wouldn't expect it to push past 30 too much, but that's a 50% profit, from 20 cents to 30 cents. And we know she can make it back up to 30 cents. She has proven to us over and over again that she can make it back up to 20 to 30 cents. So, and there's that 30 cents basically right up here. So a couple of times she got rejected from that 30 cents. Yeah, it hit 32 cents, something to that extent. But I wouldn't bank on that 32 cents, to be honest with you. 30 cents is what I would kind of stick to. Right up here was 29. I don't even think it broke out above 30. 29 was a high right up here. So if you end up picking this up at 20, yeah, 50% profit is awesome. I would be looking to cut it loose there, or at least take half of your profit, because she has proven to us, yes, she can come down, get up to 30 cents, and then break right back down again. Yeah, I wouldn't hold this past 30 cents expecting for it to hit 35, 40 cents. It's not going to do it. So there's a conference on Ripple in 30 minutes. Okay, I didn't know about that. Yeah, so we'll have to keep an eye on this and see exactly how she handles that conference. But so far, I mean, she seems to be turning back around just a little bit, but that could be a fake out. Can be a complete fake out to 26 cents and before she dips back down again. Yeah, it's tough to know when it's at the bottom. Look up. It's completely tough. Nobody can predict the bottom. Nobody can predict the top. The only thing you can do is really play the support and resistance and then look at the probabilities of that support and resistance and see, what are the chances of you being accurate. But yeah, none of us can predict the bottom. None of us can predict the top. And if they tell you they can, they're BSing you. But yeah, you just got to try to buy as close as you can to the bottom. And this has shown us that, 20 cents is close to the bottom. That's what I would really be looking for. Soros wants to hurt Bitcoin. I'm sure there's a lot of people that want Bitcoin to go down, especially the ones that are, heavily invested into Ethereum. Yeah, they definitely want Bitcoin to go down because then what's going to happen? People are going to pull out of Bitcoin and go into Ethereum, which would cause the Ethereum price to go up. So EOS, yes, I did get a message from Bitfinex. And EOS is going to be available on July 1st. So they are going to be adding that. And it's really going to be the only platform that they're going to be traded on. So, of course, we know what's going to happen. It's going to be pumped. It's going to do the same exact thing that IOTA did. They're going to pump it. Then they're going to dump it. It's going to flatline. When it flatlines, if you're interested in EOS, that would be the opportunity to get in. But yeah, don't buy it when it first gets listed on an exchange. Please don't buy it because you're just going to be feeding into the hype. And I mean, let's just take a look at IOTA real quick. But yeah, they're all going to do the exact same thing. And unless you know the patterns of what these cryptocurrencies are going to do, once they're listed on an exchange, I mean, you can look at any cryptocurrency when it first gets listed. You have the huge pump, and then you got the dump coming following right after it. I mean, they pumped this up to $1.20. When they first listed it, from 40 cents to $1.20. Actually, it looks like 25 cents. 25 cents to $1.20, and then, of course, yeah, slowly but surely grind it down. But then they did pump it back up again. Especially if you were able to get in the right in this range here, the 30, 32, somewhere in that range. I mean, they pumped it right back up to 62 cents, 100% profit there within a matter of, what was that, from the 15th of June to the 24th of June. So 9 days, to make 100%, that's pretty good. That is not bad at all if you were in that. And if you got out, at that 60 cents and not held it thinking, oh, this could get right up to $1. Yeah, you got to at least lock in some of the profits, because if you didn't, yeah, it came right back down to 40 cents. Let's see if Litecoin is going to kind of get up above 40. Yeah, but our moving averages still haven't, crossed over yet. Well, I am looking at the 1 hour chart, so 1 hour chart's not going to indicate our moving average has crossed over. Yeah, on the 1 minute, they definitely crossed over. On the 5 minutes, it's definitely crossed over. 15 minutes, yeah, possibly ready to cross over, but no, not yet. Not yet. So on the 15 minutes is going to be a better indicator to see if we're going to be, in a somewhat turnaround phase momentarily for a little bit. And that's if they do cross over. Right now, though, yeah, our bigger moving average, our smaller moving average is below our bigger moving average. And I'm assuming they have this set to maybe, I'm going to say 10 and 15 or 10 and 20 possibly. Let's see. You think the GDAX 10 cents thing is similar to the Mt. Gox, I'm assuming you're trying to say? Maybe 50% is bad? I don't know, man. I don't know. Whatever it was, man, it was pretty shady. It was pretty shady. They knew, dude. They knew that, once the, $30 million worth of Ethereum that was sold, because really it all got absorbed into $225. It was basically at $225 that, the cascade of margin calls and stop losses completely took it down to 10 cents. So, they must have known. They must have known that, people are heavily, leveraged on margin, excuse me, as well as that it was going to start taking out stop losses. So they must have known, how many stop losses were in the book. So that would definitely be insider information. For somebody to go in and put that, and that's what I want to know is really when that 10-cent offer was put in the books. That's really what I want to know. Now, if that 10-cent offer was there for weeks and months, like a lot of people would do, just put in a low ball offer and kind of leave it there, then you know what? There was no harm in that. But if it was put in, a couple hours or a couple of minutes before the crash happened, then yeah, they knew something. They had the information. Hello from the UK. Anybody buy NMR? NMR was one of the dumps that I talked about yesterday on our Slack chat. There were a couple of them. They definitely pumped it. It was NMR was one of them. EBST was another one. Corecoin was another one. I mean, they pumped a lot of them. These are the three that I really paid attention to. And I even said to somebody, in regards to EBST, when EBST was pumped up to like 1,200%, I said, watch them take this down to 10,000 Satoshis. And I think they did take it down to 10,000 Satoshis. Let me kind of look at it real quick. But yeah, hopefully nobody got trapped in any of these over the weekend. Oh yeah, they took it way down below 10,000 Satoshis. Brought it down to 5,600 Satoshis. Wow. Yeah, and people got trapped in it, and I feel bad for the people that didn't know that this pump was happening on Bittrex. Except nobody lost money, and there is no loss in availability. Yeah, I mean, they're giving everybody's money back, so yeah, there is no loss. There's possible gains that could happen right now if we had the money in that account, because then we could support Coinbase. We could provide some liquidity to it by being able to utilize that capital that they're giving us back. Because I would have definitely bought a little bit at 250. I would have definitely done it, or I would have added more to the position of Litecoin. Now I can tell my wife. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I did tell my wife. I did tell her. And she really, I tried to explain flash crash and what happened, and it was just completely over her head. And she was just like, it was in one ear, out the other. She had no clue. until I told her, yeah, I lost 17 grand. She's like, you lost 17 grand? I was like, well, in actuality, I lost 3 grand. I was like, the 14 grand was nothing but profit that I took. I was like, yeah, no, they legally stole from us is what they did. And she just kind of looked at me like, shook her head like, how does that happen? I was like, well, it's a crazy wild, wild west that that we're involved in. And then, yeah, and then I told her, and I guess I don't know if he's on here, but Logan's Run, big shout out to you, because it was really 2 a.m. His time in the UK. And he actually tried several times to get me on Skype, and I wasn't in front of my computer. And then finally, when I sat down in front of my computer, I saw that I was getting a call from Logan's Run, and he was like, "Hey, I wanted to be the first one to kind of let you know." So I found out through Logan's Run that they put out an update indicating they were reimbursing everybody back. So Logan, thank you so much for waking up at 2 a.m. your time to inform me of the good news. But yeah, now she wants to buy a van. So she's like, now you're going to put that money towards the van. So I'm probably going to have to pull out some of the capital and put towards a car for her, but we'll see. Back from work, everything's down. Yeah, today is a day that everything is down. And, if you have position already in some of these cryptocurrencies, it's not the time to panic and sell. Honestly, I'm not panicking and selling with my Ethereum or with my Litecoin. It's a time for me to really look at it and say, okay, you know what? I have $1,200 left. If this dips further, I'll add on to the other position. But I did have 2 buy-in orders, for Litecoin. One was on Bitfinex at $40 for 102, which got executed, and then the other one was on GDAX, and GDAX at that time had not touched $40 at all. It was hovering in the range of $41, $41.50. So considering I already had a position in Litecoin, I went ahead and canceled the GDAX open order at $40. And I'm glad I canceled it because now I could actually utilize that money to buy a little bit more. If she does dip, at least to $35, I'll be watching this heavily if she does dip to $35. But I'm going to see how this wedge kind of plays out to see if she's going to stay in this uptrend. And as long as she stays in this uptrend line that I drew out and gets wedged in here and breaks out a little bit, then yeah, I'll be looking to kind of maybe sell at 42, possibly 43.50. Right now, 43.50 is what I have it set to. Powder Monkey 99. What coin? I don't know what that's in regards to. Is it in regards to the pump and dump that happened on Bittrex? Yeah, I didn't really know what coins they were pumping and dumping on Bittrex. I just knew the time and the day of when they were going to start pumping on Bittrex. And then when I looked at Bittrex, I kind of saw these coins were moving up, 300, 400, 1200%. I was like, all right, these are the coins that they're pumping. And it actually started earlier than the 10 a.m. slot of time. So, when these people are pumping something, they're buying in a couple days in advance. And then when they're ready to pump it, when they've accumulated enough, it's their time to pump it, and they make tons of money off of it. I mean, taking EBST from 10 cents to $2.30, that's huge. What do I project the BC low to be this week? Oh man, it's tough. But we got to see if she breaks 2050, and if she breaks 2050 and breaks 1913, that 1913 is going to be a very key level. And if she breaks that, and she breaks it with a vengeance, and the order book is just stacked up with a lot of sellers, 1516s could definitely be in sight. Could definitely be in sight. It's a scary thought. It's a scary thing to say for anybody that has Bitcoin. But I think right now, I don't think people are believing in this panic that's going to be happening, or they're fearful of the panic that's going to be happening, and that panic is that possibly going to take place before August 1st. Especially if there was news that SegWit 2 or SegWit times 2 is going to be activated, I think mid-July or something to that extent. If that's the case, then I think everybody's in the clear. But if that's not the case, then yeah, I mean, and you can't even buy a hardware wallet right now. I mean, they're sold out of everywhere. So if you're able to get a hardware wallet, you're definitely in luck. But for the ones that are not able to get a hardware wallet and their coins are on an exchange, I mean, what do you think they're going to do? They're probably going to sell. They're not going to hold BTC, not knowing exactly what's going to happen with August 1st with the user activated soft fork. Why are price tanking so hard? I mean, there's so many different speculations, profit taken, people leery of what just happened with the flash crash. Coinbase could be walking these down to actually build up the capital they need to pay everybody back, to fight the IRS. And, there's so many different possibilities. It's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly what it is, but, people are taking profit. They're not panicking at this current time. They're not panicking, because if they were panicking, we would be seeing a crazy drop. And that's not the case right now. Let me switch this back to the black. But yeah, this is not panic selling. Panic selling was when Ethereum, or really not Ethereum, when Bitcoin came down to 2050, 1913. This is panic selling here. I mean, let me put a big circle there. That's panic selling. Taking it up from whatever it was, 2,800 bucks to 1918. That's panic selling. 3,000 down to 2050, or I shouldn't say 3,000, because the panic selling happened here. Buyers brought it back up, and another wave of panic selling happened. So the second wave of panic selling was from 2823, which was basically the high of this. Brought it down to 2050. That's panic selling. Right now, what we're seeing is not panic selling. It's profit taking. It's people being just a little cautious about what the market is doing right now. Just being worried about the unexpected, and they want to protect what they have, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. So this is not panic selling whatsoever, at least not yet, until it really starts breaking key levels of support. Once it starts breaking key levels of support, yeah, panic selling then might kick in. Especially right now, somebody that's holding, that bought at, let's just say they bought it at 2,200 bucks, and they were expecting for it to go back up to 3,000. And it went up to 28.86, and they didn't take profit. Now it's dipping on them. Before it dips back down to their buying price of 2,200, they might let it go. They might just say, you know what, I'm happy. I'll take the $100 per coin profit, because I didn't take the profit up there, and now I'm panicking because I don't want to be in the hole. There's definitely nobody using margin now, and there's definitely nobody utilizing stop losses. That's for sure, especially after the debacle that happened. So I think, for this thing to kind of cascade downwards, I think, we're still in the clear, considering stop losses are not going to be taken out. Margin calls are not going to be taken out. We're not going to see this violent dip that we've been seeing, because a lot of these violent dips are due to stop losses being initiated, margin calls being initiated. That's really what these panic dips are. That's what they are, basically. So we're not seeing that now, which is a good thing. You're calling it shorting Ripple is a good idea. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Somebody asked me too. I forget who it was. Somebody asked me where, and this was when Ripple was like, I think 24 cents, 25 cents. They asked me where they could short Ripple, and I was like, "Are you serious? Like, you're asking me where you could short Ripple? You can short Ripple on any exchange that it's on." But I was like, why would you want to short this thing at 24 cents? Like, you don't want to short something when it's kind of been beaten down to the ground. Yeah, that's not a great shorting opportunity. I don't know, fly by the elephant. I don't think I'd be shorting Ripple. I mean, what do you really have to gain by shorting Ripple? I mean, it's not going to go down to a penny, that's for sure. And if it does go down, it might go down to 20 cents, possibly. So your risk kind of outweighs the reward there if you're trying to short Ripple. I personally wouldn't short it. But yeah, dude, if you do, man, more power to you, especially if you make money out of it. But just be very cautious. That's all I could say. But I'll definitely, if you do end up shorting Ripple, I'll definitely keep an eye on it for you, man. Because I definitely don't want you to get taken out and get taken out of this game. What is currently Ripple at? I mean, Ripple's at 25.5, under 26 cents. You're doubting yourself as you do. Yeah, dude, I would be doubting myself too. I mean, I would not be looking to short anything that's in the pennies. No way. Now, if Ripple ran up to $1, okay, you know what? That's fair game. Because there's a possibility it could retrace back down to 60, possibly 80, maybe 50 cents, 50% retracement from that dollar. But yeah, I don't think you're going to get much of a retracement from 25 cents, bud. That's a dangerous trade. Even for a new trader. I mean, hopefully new traders will see that that's a dangerous game. I mean, really, shorting is a dangerous game. Honestly, guys, I'll be honest with you. It is a dangerous game, and I've shorted twice, and one of them was by accident. I didn't even mean to short, but I got into a short position thinking I was selling my long position. And yeah, it ended up working out to my advantage. I made a little bit of money off of that short, but I kind of panicked for a little bit. I'm like, what is going on? Why do I have a short position? I wanted to sell my long. Yeah, this is all profit taken. That's why we're seeing this dip. Profit takers are going to step in and start locking in the profit. But yeah, I mean, everything is down. 5% on BTC, LTC down 10%. Futures is down 12% on it. 13% on Ethereum. 11% on Ethereum Classic. So, I mean, yeah, everything's down. Even rep. I mean, rep was, right around $32, $35 range. So yeah, everything is down. So there's no flippening that's happening, unless the flippening is happening on these crap coins that are possibly going to be pumped and dumped. CANN is mad low. I don't even know what CANN is. And if you guys are ever wondering, especially for the new people that are on here, if you're wondering, what a specific coin is, go to CoinMarketCap is going to be your best bet. I mean, there's so much information that you can find on CoinMarketCap. 0.041, I mean, 1.5 cents, down 18% today. What market is this on? Yobit Coin Exchange. Yobit, wow. Yeah, I would be very careful with Yobit too. Yobit is almost like Bittrex, but it might be worse than Bittrex in the sense of the pump and dumps that happen. But yeah, 100% of the volume on Yobit. I don't know, man. That's scary. Yeah, especially considering it's only on 2 exchanges, I would like to see 50-50 split. That's what I would like to see. That would make it a little more comfortable for me to kind of say, okay, you know what, let me look at this, but not when 100% of the volume is on Yobit. Yeah. I mean, when was this thing listed? Let me look at the 1-day chart. In 2014. Yeah, this has been, oh, okay. It was flatlined for a while, but then look at this. They pumped it. They pumped this, and that was on the 18th. So yes, I mean, if you got in, at these levels here, before they actually pumped it, when it basically, I mean, yes, this shows that it flatlined, but it had up and down ticks, but mainly it did somewhat flatline. But then yeah, they pumped it right back up, and that's a 1-day pump and a 1-day dump, right back to where it was. So yeah, I mean, could this happen? Yes, it could happen again, but it's not going to happen anytime soon, considering they just pumped it on the 18th and dumped it on the 18th. Yeah, I would wait. I would wait on this. If this kind of flatlines again, for an extended period of time, like it has here, then yeah, it would be an opportunity to kind of get in. And anybody that got in, during this flatline phase here in 2017, and they didn't really pay attention to it, yeah, they missed the dump. I mean, I'm sorry, they missed the pump. And that went from 401 Satoshis. I'm sorry. It went from 1 Satoshi all the way up to 199,000. I'm sorry. Yeah, 199,859 Satoshis from 1 Satoshi. Yeah, that's just that's crazy. I'm sorry, it didn't go to 1 Satoshi. I don't know why it indicated 1 Satoshi. Okay, now it's indicating, no, it is. It's indicating the low is 1 Satoshi. Okay, now it's not. Now it's indicating the low is 1,206 Satoshi. So they took it from, 1,200 Satoshis all the way up to 1,999,000 Satoshis. Yeah, so yeah, I would wait until this kind of flatlines for an extended period of time, because they will pump it again. It's just a matter of when. All right, still staying above that trend line, which is a positive, good thing. But let's get out of this 1-hour chart and see what it's doing on a 15-minute chart. So as long as it stays in this upward trend, we're perfectly fine for the meantime. And then really, I got to keep an eye out after midnight to see. Let's see what time this would possibly be. And these are just, estimations, really. Possibly 3 a.m. Anywhere from 2:30 to 3 a.m. Possibly it's going to get wedged in there. if it stays in this trend line before it pops up. Or it could really do it, 11:45 before midnight if it decides to pop up. But we'll see exactly, how far it's going to break this trend line. And if it does break it and continues to break it and stay over and stay underneath that trend line, then yeah, that trend line is not going to do us any good. It's got to get back up above that trend line, or just hug that trend line as it's grinding up to the upward to possibly get wedged in. Yeah, I think really any cryptocurrencies are good at the moment. To be honest with you, I don't think it's just rep. I think they're providing some great buying opportunities right now. But it's going to be hard to determine, okay, what is a great buying opportunity at what price point? And then the other decision you got to make is, what coin do I get into? So, at this time, I would not be looking at some of these crap coins at all to get in. I would be looking at some of the popular coins that are going to have the support once the turnaround happens. But yeah, this is crazy. I mean, futures at $43.41. That is crazy. I mean, it's down 12%, yes, but the futures in USD is still pretty high. All right, let me see if I can get to some of these comments. There's a good amount of them. Logan, welcome, buddy. Your precious Litecoin, what is happening? Yeah, I'm in that same boat as well, too. My precious Litecoin. Yeah, I'm down a little bit. My $40 purchase, but I'm not worried about it. I'm down $1.50, so down 150 bucks. Oh man, a lot of messages I'm missing. So I'm gonna try to skim through some of these messages and then just answer, some of them as best as I can. But I got to like scroll almost halfway. Oh man, where did I stop at? Yeah, and if I don't respond to your question, I do apologize. But there's a lot of questions, and I'm gonna try to skim through them. All right, let's see. So fly by the elephant. You don't think this is a year-long bear? No, I doubt this is good. No way. No, it'll bounce back up. It seems as though bear markets don't last that long in the crypto space. Um, Especially, within the past, several months, what it's done, I mean, it's had a major, major correction. Um, and basically, I mean, that was somewhat bearish, but didn't last long at all. So, if we do get a crazy dip, I don't see that dip lasting long unless panic really sets in across all cryptocurrencies. Uh, Jess, it's kind of tough. Would I recommend staying in coins? I mean, if you have profits, start locking in profits. That's one thing I always say. If you have profits, start locking them in. And then wait for a nice dip to get back in. Utilize the capital you have and the profit that you made, and definitely utilize them. But yeah, you definitely want to be in fiat. You definitely want to have fiat ready and available for you to be able to take advantage of these crazy dips when they do happen. I always recommend that. Let's see. Bourbon, Josh Boy Bourbon. There's a group that started pumping and dumping crypto to manipulate the market after the Ethereum dump. What are your thoughts on that? Yeah, I briefly covered it. I got a notification from one of my viewers, saying, because I happened to look at a cryptocurrency and I couldn't figure out why it was down so much. And he actually wrote me a message saying, hey, what, I saw that you looked at this cryptocurrency. That was a group that's been pumping and dumping I'm not a fan of it, to be honest with you. It's just, people, and I mean, they're legally being robbed is what's happening. And I'm not a fan of it. I couldn't sleep myself at all. I've gotten so many messages asking me to join a pump and dump group and to see if we can run a pump and dump type of group, from the Slack chat that we have. And I was like, no way, no way. I'm not here to mislead anybody. That's not me. I'm a firm believer of karma. Karma comes back, and whoever's pumping and dumping, it'll come back to haunt them. What's ETC? Ethereum Classic. If that's what you're asking, if you didn't know what ETC was, I'm sure you know what ETC was. So I don't know if I read that question the right way. All right, she broke way below our trend line, so let's see how far she's gonna get down. Let's get out of this and go to 5-minute chart. Yeah, I mean, I do like Coinbase as well too. Like I said, I haven't talked crap on Coinbase. I do like the fact that I pay zero in commissions when I do a limit buy, limit sell. I mean, I think it's great, man. I mean, it eats away at your capital. I mean, I've been charged commission in the past, by Coinbase, and it's like $30 to buy, $30 to sell, and I'm like, dude, that's $60 it just cost me. Yeah, I end up making some profit out of it, but I'm like, man, that's $60. That can go a long way. But yeah, to not pay any fees at all, I think it's great. Now, could they change that? There's a possibility that could be changed. I mean, if they need to get the capital back that they're spending on fighting the IRS, improving their systems, on paying everybody back that basically got hammered on that flash crash, I don't see why they wouldn't say, you know what, going forward, we are going to have to start charging fees for limit buys and limit sells. Yeah, and I'm sure, Tracy, at one point, people started fleeing Coinbase. I'm sure, and I'm sure they saw the volume dropping. And to take away that much liquidity from their exchange could definitely hurt them in the long run. So yeah, to instill that confidence, by them doing that. And I mean, I've read some of the comments. A lot of people are like, hey, you know what? I'm going to start using GDAX from now on. I just started a GDAX account. So I'm sure they've gained some following. And I'm sure the people that pulled their money out, after the flash crash happened, if they were able to pull the money out, probably put it back in now, considering, as a good faith gesture, they were, giving everybody back their money. You can't use GDAX in Australia. I'm sorry, man. Maybe later on that'll change. You're the great cryptoholic. Nice. You need BTCs for your ICO. Yeah, and I got to research it. I don't know how many coins are out there that are requiring BTCs now. If that's the case, that's going to send BTC price up because people are going to be buying BTC to use them for an ICO. And that's why the price of Ethereum got pushed up to $400, above $400. I mean, there was just a lot of buying that was going on for people to utilize for the ICOs. Yeah, I hope Litecoin does, man. To be honest with you, I do hope they do get the smart contract. I have a lot of faith in Litecoin, even though I'm down $2, $200 now. Did it break 248? I didn't. Let me go back. That's not what I want. I didn't think it broke 248 or broke under 250. No, it hasn't broke 250 yet. At least not on GDAX. I'm sure on Bitfinex, it dropped it. Yeah, because on Bitfinex it's at 250.22 now, so I'm sure it dropped below 250. Yep, 243. 243.90 was a low. Yeah, some are panicking. Some are panicking, especially, the ones that bought cheap, the ones that probably bought in the 100, 150, $200 range, and they didn't get out, when they made 200%, maybe 150% profit. Yeah, they might be locking in their profits now and saying, all right, you know what? I bought at 200, it's 250, and I should have sold at 4, and I didn't because I was expecting this thing to go to, 5, 6, 700, 1,000. Now I'm going to get out with a $50 per coin profit. And if enough people do that, then yeah, I mean, this could cause a nice little cascade. F isn't even good at all. Dude, it's good. F is good. I mean, it's just being utilized for ICOs, too much. And it's causing that ICO bubble. Vitalik is shorting. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. It's kind of hard to say, who's shorting this and who's not. But yeah, if Vitalik is shorting, I mean, I don't even know how many coins he has. But yeah, I mean, this could come down. It could drop. Yes, yes. Fly the elephant. Your Ripple shorting is a bad idea, dude. Not at 25 cents. That's a very bad idea. And I don't think, I don't even have to be an experienced trader to tell you this is a bad idea. I think any new trader that's coming on to the market that knows how to, what a long position is and know what a short position is, and, when you should really be taking a short position and when you should be taking a long position, would definitely tell you that that's a bad idea. Now, if you're looking to just scalp on the short side, yeah, possibly, from 25.20 to maybe 25. But yeah, other than that, it's not much of a capital that you're going to be, or profit that you're going to be making. You're long now? Yeah, I think it's better to go long. I think so. Your losses are very limited when it's low instead of shorting. What's my Steam tag? CryptoTraders RM should be the tag. Let me see if I can copy the link. But yeah, this is definitely live streaming on Steemit. But I got about 15 minutes left on this live stream, and I will try to answer as many questions as I can. I know there's just a lot of questions currently right now. Way too many for me to even keep up. So if I missed a question, I do apologize. Yeah, but the statement, yeah, it got tagged. It is in the comment, but it basically got scrolled all the way up to the top because it's just too many comments. Ethereum crash cost 8,000. So it cost you 8,000, Joe? But I mean, you are getting that money back. I'm assuming you're on Coinbase, and I'm assuming you're talking about the flash crash that happened with Ethereum, or you're talking about right now where you possibly bought it after the flash crash and it dipped on you. If that's the case, yeah, you're definitely down. I mean, anybody that bought at a high, it's down. I mean, even if I mean, I thought buying it at 40 was a very good price point, and I'm down as well too. So. 37.90. Yeah, we're dipping. We're definitely dipping. But at least I do have $1,200 left over to add to the Litecoin position. If Litecoin dips further enough, it's not going to be much that I add. Maybe 30, possibly a little less than 30. There's a big chat delay. I'm sorry. There shouldn't be too much of a delay. I need to change my stream client. I don't even know how to do that, Abdullah, what that even entails. And Abdullah, I don't know if you're part of our live stream. If you are, definitely say what's up. I'm going to try to spend at least an hour on there today, and I'll try to do that from 12 Eastern time zone to 1 p.m. Eastern time zone. So if you are part of our general Slack chat, definitely look for me on there and say what's up. Joe, you bought 400 ripples at 20 cents. That's not bad. And I don't know if you got out at 30 cents or 32 cents. I mean, you gained 50% profit. You got to definitely take advantage of those 50% profits. At least lock in some of the coins. Lock in the profit. Yeah, not a good idea. Too volatile to short. I wouldn't recommend shorting, especially Ripple at 25 cents. Definitely not. I mean, but shorting, if you end up shorting Ethereum Classic, I'm sorry, not Ethereum Classic, because that made a nice move up. Ethereum, Litecoin, or Bitcoin, and took a very small position. Yeah, it paid off, especially at the 43.50. Was because really when it started dipping, let me see if I can find it. Where's that 43.50? Right up here. When it somewhat started flatlining before it really started coming down, that would have been a great shorting opportunity when it couldn't break out above the 43.50. 43.76 was there, came down 43.50, and then it just completely broke down that 43.50. Couldn't break out above this 43.76. And that was my initial sell offer, was 43.75. And then when this went up to 43.50 and crashed back down, I was like, all right, there's no way I'm going to get out of that 43.75. Let me attempt to try to see if it'll come back right back up to that 43.50 for me to get out, and definitely didn't make it back down. It crashed. So that 43.50, considering she couldn't break out above the 43.76, would have been a great shorting opportunity. Yeah, I don't even know if, let me see. Got to get back to Bittrex to see if Ripple's overextended, or what the RSI looks like on Ripple. I'm going to say it's probably somewhere in the happy medium of like 45, possibly. Yep, 45.5. That is where Ripple is. So it's definitely not overextended. It's not overbought. It's not oversold. Definitely a couple of times it indicated that it was oversold. And that's why sometimes it can be misleading. I mean, as we can see, RSI came down to about 25 right up here when the price point hit 26.5, 26.5 cents. And if anybody, looked at that and said, okay, you know what, RSI is at 25, let me buy this because it's oversold. And then, yeah, it was a complete fake out because it just grinded downwards right from there. So yeah, sometimes the RSIs can be a little misleading. Now, when the RSI topped out at 90 or 82 here, that was a high that it had actually set at 32.37. Yeah, that was a great shorting opportunity, because then you can see that the RSI was really breaking down, and it broke down to 25 again. But yeah, this RSI here is definitely misleading though. I know, but these RSIs right over here, definitely not misleading. I mean, it hit that 82, grinded down, RSI hit 25, it grinded back up, and then RSI got right up to that 70 range. So definitely not a good shorting opportunity unless RSI gets, overextended and it gets, above 80, I would say. If it gets to 80, possibly 90, yeah, it might be a shorting opportunity, a very short shorting opportunity, not an extended opportunity at all. Daniel, I mean, I agree. I can completely agree with you. It's better, and it's just not BTC. I mean, it's better to buy and hold, some of these popular cryptocurrencies than to try to, daily watch them, especially if you haven't been trading for a very long time. You don't try to trade right now. I would not recommend that unless you're paper trading. Then that's perfectly fine. But yeah, as of currently right now, if you're not, if you're not an experienced trader or haven't been trading for a long time, yeah, buying and holding is your best bet. Tether's in the green. Yeah, Tether. You know what? I was looking at Tether the other day. Let me go back to CoinMarketCap. And I was like, man, what is Tether doing? And Tether is going to start using something in regards to Litecoin. I forget what it was. Yeah, it's $1.03. It's supposed to be even one. Let's look at the market. See, $1.03, $1.04. Well, depending what pair it is. USDT pair is $1.03. Well, BTC USDT pair is $1.03. Ethereum USDT pair is $1.04. On Poloniex, NXT USDT pair is 98 cents. But let's see if they're over $1.10 anywhere. USDT USD is $1.19 at CCEX. I wouldn't even trust that exchange. $1.61 at Cryptopia. And that's an ARC USDT pair, $1.61. Wow. Yeah, I don't even know if I would trust USDT. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, ARC NMR was a pump and dump from Saturday. That was a pump and dump. Same thing with EBST and then one other coin. Coin is around. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think maybe they're pumping and dumping the pot coins. Anything that's related to marijuana. Yeah, I'll take a look at Popcoin before I get off this live stream. I got about 5 minutes. I'm trying to get to some of these comments, but yeah, I'm not even halfway through these comments. So if I don't get to them, I'm sorry. But 88 people watching. That is awesome. Thank you guys for joining. I do appreciate this. This is definitely motivating me to keep doing these live streams. It's Popcoin flatlining. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it. It looks like it found a great area of support. Above that 4,700. What's the buying and selling looking like? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it 3.59, especially what's in the order book right now that I can see 2, 4, 6, 8, the top 10. So we got top 10 total of, let's see, the sum is 3.59 on the buy side, and the sum is 0.2728 on the sell side. 27 million pot coins on the buy side versus 2.5 million on the sell side. So yeah, I mean, people could be possibly playing this flatline range. That's a possibility. Yeah, this wouldn't be bad for a little bit of an entry, nothing big, and not something to hold for too long. I mean, considering we know that the 8,000 Satoshi range is a high. I wouldn't be looking past that at all. If I got in at these levels, I would probably be very leery. If it starts breaking out above 5,000, I'm sorry, not 5,000. If it breaks out above 5,800, and then breaks out above 6,600, yeah, that I would be looking to possibly get out above that range, or at least start locking in some of the profits. But yeah, this isn't a bad flatline range. Especially kind of going back to from the 14th of June till now. Yeah, I mean, this is playing a really nice tight range. SC's asking, the dip has been going on for days now. How long does it typically take before the uptrend? Really, when sellers stop selling, that's really when the uptrend will continue. When buying outweighs selling and selling diminishes. Until then, the downtrend will continue. It will continue. That's a big question. Yeah, absolutely right, Tracy. That's a big question. But let me see if I can get some of these Ethereum to 210, maybe. I don't, dude. 210. What is it, 252 now? All right, so we'll see if she breaks 250, because 250 was the low that it had actually set today. If that's the case, yeah, I mean, 210, I mean, that's only 40 bucks from where it's at. That could definitely be in sight. That would definitely possibly be the first area, and I got to really look at the chart, but that could definitely be the first area of support. Where are you, Ethereum? 37 bucks, 37.11. So I'm not too worried. I mean, my entry was 40 bucks. I'm still going to keep it. I'm not going to panic sell and give my coins up to somebody that's looking to buy cheap. I'd rather add on a little bit. Yeah, so charting is going to be a little tough on this. So at least we know, okay, 2050 was the low that is set. So I got to kind of get rid of this flash crash candlestick. And it looks like I got to do a 2-hour candlestick. All right, so it has broken, and this is before the flash crash. And so it definitely has broken below my last area of support that I had actually put down. And the low of that support was 253. So considering it broke to 250, bounced up a little bit, we know she has broken that level, even though we can't see it, because if I try to scroll, that long flash crash candlestick kind of ruins everything. So what is the next area of support, really? 237. So let me put a line at that 237. And then after that, I mean, these are going to be very tight ranges, very tight ranges. 205 to 200. If she breaks 205, she's going to get to 200. That's for sure. Where will she go after that? If she breaks 200, oof. Watch out. Watch out. 150-ish. Possibly 150-ish. Is there anything in between that where it would show me a good area of support? $185. So she's got a couple levels of break. All right, so those are the areas of support. So we already know she broke through the 250. I'm sorry, she got to 250. So broke through this 259 area of support that I plotted out in the past. Next area is going to be right about the 233, 235-ish, and then 204, and then 185-ish, and then possibly 150 after that, possibly. So she's got a couple other key levels to kind of start breaking down on, and she could do it. She could definitely do it if selling intensifies. There we go, 245. Man, I wish I can see the other lines at. Let me get to maybe a 2-hour, back to 2-hour chart. Yeah, I wish I would just get rid of this flash crash candlestick. I wish they would get rid of it. 94 people watching. That's awesome. If you do like this information and find this helpful, please click on that like button. It'll definitely help other people find this live stream. And if you have any questions to ask me, after the live stream has been uploaded to YouTube, definitely leave the comment on there. But 245 is currently where we are right now. So then I have to scroll to the right, get rid of the flash crash candlestick to kind of see the other areas that I put down. So 245 is the current price where we're at. So that's right at this range right here. So we'll see if she bounces from the 235-ish. I doubt she'll bounce from that. She could just really cascade down to that possibly 200. So 245. And honestly, if let's just say hypothetically, Coinbase had actually given me back the funds, I would have probably got in at 250. I would have definitely taken a position at 250. So I'm kind of glad Coinbase did not give me back the money yet. But Coinbase could be buying cheap. They could be buying at these levels. They could be walking this thing down to buy cheaper and then say, you know what, we're just going to return everybody's Ether back to them. Whatever they had, we'll return back to them because we bought Ether cheap now. We don't have to spend tons of USD. So they just basically saved a lot of USD by by walking down Ether. So they're selling their Ether at a very high price, walking it down slowly, not causing it to flash crash again, but walking it down slowly. And then they're going to start buying back the Ether at a very cheap price and possibly return them back to the people. So we'll see in a couple of days, when they do decide how they're going to refund back the customers that got hammered. If they do decide to, return Ether back to them, then this conspiracy of them really walking this down could be true, for them to buy in cheaper to return the coins back. Because if they already had the coins and they had enough coins to return back to the people, they would have already returned it. But they want to buy them cheaper to return them at a very cheap price. There you are, Cybert. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, that was you. That was you, buddy. I gave you a little shout out at the beginning of this video. I don't know if you were actually on this live stream when I first started, but yeah, I gave you a shout out for notifying me of the pump and dump that was being planned on Bittrex. But yeah, thank you, man. And I think, you helped out a lot of people, especially the people that are on our Slack chat, because they might have saw something running up and they might have got in on it. But I think that kind of kept them away from those pump and dumps that happened. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And I think I wrote you a message saying, hey, if you haven't joined our Slack chat yet, definitely join, and we'll definitely be sending you an invite. If BTC sets new lows, the whole market is shitting. Yeah, dude. I mean, right now the whole market is shitting. It really is. I mean, they're providing the opportunities to get in, but I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe at all at this current price point right now. It is scary. I mean, everything is going to start dumping double digits. If BTC goes down double digits, yeah, watch out. Watch out. A lot of things could be down 20%, 25%, possibly. Let's see. I don't know what this was in regards to. Ryan, one of the whales has just strangled him before he let the secret out. I don't know if I missed a prior comment in regards to that. Whales are strangling other whales, huh? All right, so let's see. Cyber is saying they're pumping, dumping on Bittrex today in an hour and 20 minutes. Oh, man. So, be careful, guys. Be careful. And that's why I don't play these crap coins on Bittrex and Poloniex. That's a pure example of what, Cyber is saying to us. And I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correct, bud. And if I am, I do apologize. I'm bad at pronouncing names. I really am, if you guys haven't already seen that. But yeah, and that's why I don't play these games on Bittrex and Poloniex, because of some of the pump and dumps that are happening. It's easy to get trapped in it. Very easy. What's the Slack chat? It's basically, or where is it? It's basically, it's our chat room that we have, and we got a couple different rooms. Not everybody is in the actual traders room. A lot of people are kind of just hanging out on the general chat. Once the channel actually starts to really grow, and we find the right core group of guys that can provide fundamental and technical analysis, those are the type of people that I want to be in the traders chat room, because everybody's going to have a part to play on finding a great setup. So if you're good at charting, you'll be working with a bunch of guys that are good at charting. If you're good at finding the news and information, that's the role that you're going to play. So everybody will have a different role to play. And if you see something that has a great setup and you notify us, whoever's in charge of charting, we'll start charting it out to see if the levels that it's presenting, it's a great buying opportunity. So if we can collectively work as a team, then we're able to find these great setups to be able to take advantage of them. But we just got to make sure that we're not caught in these pump and dumps, because they do happen. So if the setup is showing us that it's a great setup, but it's being pumped, then we're effed. Seriously, we're fucked. So collectively, if we can kind of weed that out and be able to find great setups based on news, there has to be a reason why something is going up. So when I looked at those 3 cryptocurrencies on Bittrex as to why they were going up, there was no news on it. It's really flatline tells you that that's a pump and dump. Now, if there was some great news to back up the upward price movement, then yes, I would say more than likely that's not too much of a pump and dump that's happening. Yes, people could be pumping it based on that news and then taking profits, but it's going up because of a valid news that's out there. And a valid news would have to come from the actual development team and not just somebody putting something up on Twitter. But yeah, thank you for notifying us of this, Cybert. Thank you so much, man. It's very helpful, because I'm sure a lot of people would have gotten trapped, and I'm sure a lot of people did get trapped. But at least the guys that are in the Slack chat, when I notified them, hopefully they didn't get trapped in it. Ethereum, all right, 241, 3648. Man, yeah, things are downtrending. Let's see. Let's get back up to BTC. And I'm going to try to get this going a little longer because I know there are things that are happening within the market, so I don't mind staying longer. But 11:30, I'm probably going to have to end this because I do have to get things done. 108 people watching. Oh man, this is going to be a record. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate you joining. And to help us out, please click on that subscribe button. And if you're on Steemit, this is uploaded on Steemit as well too. Should be live streaming on Steemit. And if you do have Steemit, definitely help us out by upvoting this. So we'll see if BTC breaks that 2350, which is the first area of resistance that I've plotted out. If it breaks that, 2275 could definitely be in sight. And if it just continuously breaks those, then 2200, possibly 21. Yeah, but Abdullah, you can go to www.cryptotradersroom.com. Answer the brief questions that we have and just answer them truthfully. That's all that we ask for. Answer